9 kwa eja totoye ewo dwahodo mu Ghana makomako aduonum 50
Mrashebe Dwania Ojina Homa Afofra Owo Techiman South Honorable Martin Ejei Mensa Edin Sembi Atudwa Kasiye Yebechirim.
Enyimre Sembi ka were ho ne yesi ho konwa bekenkan ni nyina sommo. Asomfa woti enkan ye me. Mrantie nua ba maame efom wa kafena. Mene.
Nana Yeboa Bemaba.
Trakwan ejina so aba.
Sika FM Trakwan. Yen ye kuro. Sika FM 89.5. Yes, Suma Santimai. Sika FM 89.5. Yes, Suma Santimai.
Yes, Suma Santimai Ghana Maya wiase nyina ka ho fei yewura esomne mo ankasa. Yefrika siana se awo nwomasuya ho nsem mudia. Honorable Haruna Idrisu wono ene hwa Ghana yemumasuya ho nsem eso wode nsem bi atodwa se abai aye hyehye se de be schools ahodo a ye friends special needs schools no afempinu ane adwonunsia ebeye fa no kwa anase free ni bi special needs school no sabe ebi aye school for the deaf and blind ni nyina eka ho any schools sabe mofra omo ewo autism no ye de wo mo kono ha wo mo na ye special needs schools eno na ochese afempinu ane adwonunsia wa ba ni hyehye mu se obema aye free bonto ya wo bia wo ba ebeko bi no ontua hwe ewo ho Honorable Haruna Idrisu edinsemi etudwa bra na woni sentwerefo kasa na ochese wo mo do ho krata sam kura kwa akoto cabinet anim ya chese wo mo ye hwehwemu a chese policy no nche bia hwehwemu no beba na wie ye na fei wo mo agye atum se de be ya special needs school se wo mem no afempinu ane adwonunsia ekono ebe free bonto ede ama awofo Honorable Haruna Idrisu wakani nsem sei
special education, and I have submitted a comprehensive policy paper to cabinet to look at the possibility of introducing free education for all learners in special and integrated schools across the country. I intend that if I get the support of the President and Cabinet, for which I trust I have, from 1st January 2026, we should be able to provide for the needs of all learners with special needs in our country, including the provision of devices for persons who are visually impaired, those with hearing difficulties and others. What I noticed as I went to Akrupan was that even feeding, they still depended on government grants. That is not good enough. So we extend school feeding to all the special needs and integrated schools in the country. And for me, that would be the best intervention of meeting the needs of distressed, marginalized learners in the provision of our educational system. Accordingly, I've requested and directed GEFAN to make a minimum allocation of 65 million Ghana cedis to support them.
Ene ateye nwomasuya sofo Honorable Haruna Idrisu chesa nwomu suku kuro no kwa na be fa no kwa na emom wo maduane die mu nso aban ne behwe eno achi niema hodo asese wo mudi sua de akade ahodo ni nyira nso aban e de bema wo mo eno achi eno san so kire se yehia achechefo nso awosebe enkronkron nketua mu eno nso aka ho asem se wo behwe na achechefo ne bi akoho.
But Ghana still has a deficit or shortage of teachers, particularly in rural Ghana. And we are exploring another opportunity using the Ghana Student Loan Trust to reach out to that category. I mean, how much is the allowance? 400 Ghana cedis. They could come get 5,000, 10,000 from Student Loan Trust, and they'll be better off. So we are engaging them and we'll continue to engage them. But they should not expect that when we elevate them into full university status, circumstances and policy decisions will not change. But I see Professor Jinapo, I see Council Chairman Professor Mahama. I'm requested that you will have to review your numbers for teacher intake. Just before we entered, my Director of Policy drew my attention that there's been a significant reduction in the number of college students admitted. So, Professor Chairman, I'll come back to you and the Director General of GTEC. You have to, since the numbers are left to you, my estimate the policy appeal to your chairman. So the teacher training college, adjust them upwards, do an upwards review of the allocations for them. Ghana still needs teachers, particularly in rural areas.
And yet, a young woman saw for Honorable Haruna Idrisu.
Yerasoa ewa ngomesiano asuye ene enkran pumpuni mantamu enedie na yekoja nkwa akyerɛkyerɛfo a wakɔgye ntetiɛ aba abɔnten sɛ nka aban ɛmfa ɔmadwuma emprempreyɛ onda so tifie enkabomuku a watu ne din sɛ coalition of unemployed teachers ene ete wɔn ho egu montene so ɛwɔ nkran pumpuni mantam a ɔyɛ kyerɛ kɛseɛ kyenkyerɛnkyɛ paa ɛde akyerɛ Ghana ban wɔyɛ kyerɛ ni nyinaa ɛne sɛ ɔmo kyɛ ɔmo mu mienu a ebi mu ewie school emfie mienu atwa mu ebi mu so wie school afie sɛ a atwa mu weye o ɔmo atena fie saa ma kyerɛ sɛ ebi mu kura kyerɛ sɛ nea ɔmo de bɛtɔ aduane adie kura ɛho ayɛ den ama wɔn ebi mu so kyerɛ sɛ ombenya bibi ade aboma no so twede a gise o makwa koye lebra ene ese wo mfitire na afu a na o makodo se o temota na se wo hia obi obete aso ama wa na o mabesoa o mabo aban punum aban punum saa aban atwi nani aban enye na dwen se ode wo mo ebekọ baabi ama o mo so akọkyera de na o mo nya sika ede ato wo mu botom eno ena ene ekoi eti wo mo hu gu montene so na o kire mu se ewa Ghana memu ha ne se wo yefunu ya wo ya na se wanfe wo se ayehunu emprempre ya ide ekwam de wo mo enti ade a omo ya Ghana ban ebete omo nka ene se omo ebete omo ho agu montene so na omo ya oye kyerɛkyerɛnkyɛ pa ene omo de oye kyerɛ ni nyina ekopie mu ewo enwomesua no asoye ya na ohwe ani mu se nko behia enwomesua empanyimfo ene Ghana ban anamusini a owo enwomesua asoye na wei ena wakasamafo eye na dwen se ono ena behia omo na wagye saa omo krata yi eno na ekuoi se ehene ha ye hia minister na mu soafo a ohwe nwomesua so onumonyamfo Haruna Idrisu ena ekuoma ne se omo hia omo enye piaro sembia ni o ekom se ne esi de ne ayetifi a kyese enwuma nketenkete ayaya eho aketua no fia bi se wo wanum ena ye didie ntie hia soafo no na ye de yensem ato nanim yenko na yenkotie ensem a omo editu dwa no ebi.
We can't be home and be suffering whilst we spent over 5 years training ourselves to become good teachers so that we help the future of Ghana. And now we are here to tell the government to close that now because we have stayed with for too long. We can't still be at home. We can't wait for even a month. Some people are even dying. Some are doing illegal jobs. Some are, you can see how Roberts employ our colleagues. Go and steal and I'll give you money. And they will do it because they are hungry. Some are on Galanso side. The same Galanso we are preaching against. We are educating people against. Our people are there. They are there. You go there right now, you see a lot of trained teachers there because they have not get jobs. We have passed our licensure exam. We have reached whatever we want to do. We some are first class, second class, and all those stuff. And we are still at home.
Ene ayeti ona waje ntetia ohwe se aban ebe posti omo na aban emfa omo nto payroll so ena akiri mu se ebi kura ede omo ahye krono mu ya ene ubeduru ba bia a akyerɛkyerɛfo ankoma agye ntete na obeba abonten abɛkyerɛ de aboama Ghana afa ne ntuma pɛfra no omo enom de omo wura krono ene mesi adwuman
yanto akasebo ne so a ye fira kyerɛkyerɛfo ne nkyɛn na yakɔ nurses ne midwives ho womo wia womo ya on services to say the Oko University bia we womo de ndie mo friend rotational nurses and midwives na womo kyerɛ sɛ womo akɔ womo ya service ya wawie alawa ya de ma womo no emayo womo atwe aban ya atwe abɔ health ministry ne prum saa wo bia mfi womo enti sɛ de ato apenten baabi aduro no aduro adwo afa mpieto breme te sɛ de nana ya aka Ghana ha sɛ oyefu ya oya na so wamfie wo se a yehu so yefu ya oya anti abane nso ne kasa ba ko a wote ya demonstrate hen wo janta so fita na wo num na ba kokko ne to piaw no hu se wani abre enti rotational nurses and midwives yi kyerɛ sɛ bosumi ya ye wo mu ye November bosumi ye se ekwo na wie ye ne 19th ekwo na wie ye na se alawa no a esase ye de ma wo mu no ya mfa mo wo mu a ene mo betu wo mu nka mo nyina betu mo agumonte so kwabena mi nta kamdo ene adwuma efo wo nya yire de se ministries wo no ombehu rotational nurses ene midwives no ho se wo mo bante so kokko e de akire wo mo chance wo mo kire mu a ahokire pa ena aba wo no eso wo mo ko ni convener ya friend Ebenezer Boatin na sem eni.
We know all these problems. So if you tell us that you give us the clearance and pay our money within November, then we don't see how true it is. They are now processing our clearance for the Ministry of Finance to endorse it. So we don't understand. The Minister of Health said that the clearance has been secured. And now the HR for the Ministry of Health is also saying that they are now working on our clearance and waiting on the Ministry of Finance to endorse it. We don't understand it. And it's called for us to take action because if you try to give them some time or if you sit and look, I think it will still be delayed. We are giving them an ultimatum from now to the end of November. That's when they promise to start paying our allowance. If you don't get our allowances, the first thing we do is to organize a demonstration. I think that's the best language our politicians understand now. It will be more than what our seniors organize.
Anti-rotational nurses and midwives woman ye, chese, and some be cross was your own my woman tiati. Swap for nan Kasamu. Honorable Kwabena minta kind of catch the woman. Oh, your financial clearance at your mom. And in November, yeah, you won't ye, but when we hear the say, Obia and Alawa. P.R. Kasama for no so was your whole crown one to because mo financial clearance ne kura jaba feni ya de kwa ama ayi sikasama so ya ne kura wa afenu omo de ko so aforo so say ya security da enti si ade ahi ene omo nyine omo de ne say so aforo de ene omo age de bosu no be ko na wiye na se omalawa ne ma idea te so kokko pa ene omo be bai e de akira ban
say obie su ne ni wa o achechewte
teachers no
on say na minister kasa no say oman mi hia achechefo yenya achechefo a
ebisu na esu mo fa wo man
esu say omu hia adwuma ase Ghana ayeda mi o
ye huna mani
si nkurasi ye achechefo ni ho
ende no kru
na so obi so wie school 2022 2023 won so pa adwuma why the license wie why the national service wie that one is aban be kaseko omunsu ati
omunsu nim say hia omunsu nim say nurses nso sa akọ enkrase na omu hia
hospitals nwo kura be kwa
hospitals ye pe chip compound omu pe tu pe kura ho kura omu hia se kan twa oma ebe mia kuro ni keke kura omu hia asemu
yenso Kasapreko ne so ena no adaya ena oman photosamfo eye eja atoforsin sesel kesel osesen ode oman akohomabo sika ebetu dwa no akire mu se eto ahodo anka hokoto ade a ededa so te se covid-19 levy VAT ene eto ahodo bebre wo ho a yatete so ena Ghana fo bo se no akire mu se o seye ene amabo ebeba fom o ensuo ne niam a yedie hu bo beba fom o eno ena Ghana fo kire mu se eja to kasa wie ya mpo eniam ne bo ne de omoto na eno omoto no eno ena Ghana Revenue Authority GRA ede abetu dwa se ewom se eja to ede abetu dwa se ya tete niam so ene covid-19 levy ya afiri ho VAT nso eto VAT an ya te so 1.9%. ena NHIL levy nso no eno so ye afiri so nemom san hihye ya aban de aguna kwan ni nyina ebe hyase anase obe hyase e de adidwuma ewo afia ye besimi ne da edikan pepepe eho ena woto niam ubehu se ya tete so nti Ghana fo nyina monkama akoma ntomo yam eye ohamu nchemu baako na kirapo enkono a ye free VAT so no ubehu eye covid-19 levy no oto ade a afia ye besimi a ubehu se eni ho biem nti ade a enka na nka oto no be se 10 cedis no ebia afia ye besimi ubeduru one ya teso anama babonten no mabebose eno ena panyin kwankyerefo a oda GRA ano eye owura Anthony Sapon ekirem se san hyehyɛ ne de afia ye besimi ode bedi dwuma yenko na yenko tie Anthony Sapon
So in respect of the VAT reform that we're doing, the bill is currently before Parliament. Actually, from here, Parliament has started looking at it at 10 a.m. So from here, I'm going straight to join my team to make sure that we are responding to their questions and explaining. We are hoping and expecting that we will get parliamentary approval before the rise for the Christmas season, and hoping that the president will also be able to assemble it. So if all these plans goes well, we'll expect that the implementation will start 1st January 2026. But we will be working with the business committee and start engaging to make sure that we plan well and give sufficient time to ensure that those who have to reset their systems are reset, and to ensure that they also get ready for the implementation. So we'll be coming back to you, but the overall plan is to try and get the act passed before the end of the year.
And I Penny Quanchre for Oda Ghana Revenue Authority ano Anthony Sapon.
Yemfre GR Fonsemo na yanko atoyenchemu aboafo ho meche nadbofo say ade ba ko omuri asu omani so anase dwumadie dwumadie ya wo mu edie no ba ko omo be mu omani abere wo ho pa eye gyachehye a ekoso ewo edwa ahoduro mu market fire enunti dwumadie a wo mu apa ho ntuma yefre ne se operation end market fires jese esese eja ahodu ahyehye ewo edwa ahoduro mu no eto etumi etwa wo ma ye ho santwerefo nhyiamu ewa santemantem hanom sei ya no omore pa operation end market fire no ento ahontoma na dwumadie na se no na jese Ashanti Regional Director Edema Nadmo Alhaji Muhammad Nasiru Ibrahim wode eto dwase hwe afia yes etwa mu no kwa 2024 ni mu eje ahyehye ye ewo dwa hoduro mu ewo magane mu a sika na afa japade enkofo dwotire hye ma nkofo bobena eja makomako aduonu 50 na etoye na wo chese 50 no enye afimu ni nyina na 50 no sane nkefa ho dwane wo chese so mo de nkonta no egu akwan mu pa hwe eja hodu ahyehye ndia na chese dako bia eja ahye ewo dwom ewo magane mu no eye aduonu 50 market fires daily ewo eye last quarter ewo 2024 ni mu a eno na o chese eho behia se ese wo mo emiom ho ewo mu dwumadie mu na wo mo ye ncheche de eye safety measures da hodu gugugu akwan mu se be ya eja hyehye hodu akoso odwom no eto ebetimi etwa na yenti Ashanti Regional Director Edema Nadmo Alhaji Muhammad Nasiru Ibrahim.
It has to do with fire outbreaks in the region. They are so rampant, so intense and devastating. So we checked data and reports from last year. The unfortunate details I can confirm to you is that on the average nationwide, there was about 50 fire outbreaks a day in the last quarter of 2024 and first 2 months of 2025. We are for Ashanti region. What can we do about it? The team met, we examined the reports, we studied them and picked the recommendations. You may be well aware, at NADMO we see prevention piece. So we agreed to do something about preventing the fires. That is how come we came up with the code OSFED 2025. That is Operation Stop the Fire Disasters.
And here a National Disaster Management Organization Director no our Asantemantam hanum say Regional Director no Alhaji Muhammad Nasiru Ibrahim.
Yanto Kasapreko so na yemfa yani enchire mu ewo MPP Osono Kukrudu Amanyokunim. Yenyina yenim se Osono echi entena so akansie no omugusua na omopre ewuanum anum. Ya kire se dodo na ahye wonto obase a omo ebontoa na wahwese etu ahene ne yesi ahenefo ebehu omobo no watie wo musufre no omo ato aba no ama wo mo eno ena nansen ebeto dwa se ade a yefre no proxy voting proxy na kire se obi eni ha anase obi wa kwantuo mu anase obi hododo no na ode ni tumi ahye obi nsa se onyina nanamu na onto na ba no ma no na onto manipa ono a ontimi enya kwan ebebeto aba no enko obeto ama no eno ena ebeto odwa se abejeku ayapa wo mo se omo ena enhye MPP abato no so eye no huhu se afi a yebesim aba omo beto no de oya se untimi ntukwan emma meto anase wo yare na se bibi nti untimi nsore meto a ene na ahwere wo kire se ewo se wo se wo yare a na se hyen mu mpo na mpo sabe yebesesa wagumu se wo akontuo mu ene jet ena abehan na de beba beto a ene na waba beto na se udi utumi pa ehye obi nsa se ometo abama wo de ene hwira basam enye yie eno ena mrahye bedwani a ogina homa afofora owo Tachiman South abato mpesua so eye onimonyamfo Martin Ejei Mensa odi tudwa se ehu pa o sempanyimfo pa ebeji ona owo akwantuo mutumi afiri wo nsem brofo kasem na kire se o de sem franchise wo mu brofo ayaka na yaka obie na kire se wo mutumi a ewo mo nsem se wo beto aba no MPP for eje se atumi no afiri wo nsem edi oyene kese papa ene beba amanyokuo nim enti nkebe ya nkempanyimfo hwe na se asem we de nko wo nwono ho mienu no omfa nwu apaso na omuntwene yakọ saa na omunko na omunsan emrabiem odi san sem yi atudwa wa bra no ne ensentrofo edi nkomo afa MPP abato afia yebesim yebeto yanko ne yankotie onmonyamfo Ejei Mensa Kosa
who say I started the how be that party addition be a church home petitions akako den a party no we can be can koye and no making kind on the news but it say party no kwa mfio mu and no masa the second one ako seven we are all members of the party elections here be that we are just asking say you for pray and election ekoye enye adwobre say do bedin kugu beti no wase do bedin kunu beti no wase the day how beba yehwesia no I foresee people fomenting trouble after election no so we kase we mapan amebia nkotoma ba obi kwa jazo kase me court obe how adwen because it's grounded in law both the constitution and the CI enti we na person we twe adwen ko so say omo fa prepare engagement people may have issues so the power how a person one enti as a committee we nhye a e digidie ni no kore prepare ye beba but you don't run away from it so we kase obi kan was into adwane then you are not serving the right purpose we dey hye say okay e yade amrama kwan na nipa pe e hye dey atọ kwan mu ni so person who vote by proxy say so you mun now fine no obi ehunu then you would have used the law to serve the good of the election but otherwise okay say men prima obi an trouble by proxy so it's an aberration of the law. This election got 2 year 2023 ye the proxy year juma every public election ye the proxy year juma minim the year by your wish the person suddenly he sad and free especially when thousands of people are relying on that law to exercise their franchise now cast away year free without any legal basis. What is your what are you seeking to achieve? Into honor a idea hard. And now so say you must do it not later than 42 days to the election. Into the clock is ticking. That means so one observe the 42-day period. Now say because and then when you decide to also set it aside. So I think as soon as possible they should lend some ears to the petitions and then allow cool heads to prevail. And I'm a kind on the social media. I was worried. Say, hey, why are we taking such unilateral decisions which flies in the face of the law? Now, sorry, and then another coca or party. We don't need that.
Adankra ena moje amanfo tumi afri wo monsem eba bato so pa me Martin Ejei Mensa mahwe so bebre ama MPP osono amanyuko nti munwene ho mienu eno eye onmonyamfo Martin Ejei Mensa mra hyebedwani ede ma afoforo wo Tachiman South
kane adwumayfo a womo na omo ye adwuma e wo Bogoso Prestia Gold Mines woman de o ma de srede eto aban anim afei adwumako from say health go fields nso woman de srede bia kwa akoma wo se kane na omo ye adwuma e wo Bogoso Prestia Gold Mines no woman yire omo ye adwuma ye pa nenso adwuma no duru ba bi no omo yi omo di ama sei womo kapra kura modama so womo yi omodi nso ekatua na esanka dwuma ne de je womo kwan ene niam ahodo na esanka dwuma de ma womo no wamfa am womo na akemu womo abọ dwuma koyi abọ musika akem nti sese no mampani John Dramani Mahama ne na ban ene womo sua kire womo ene womo de so ni bi nso akwa health go fields dwuma koyi so womo nyira meka bi mfa mo womo sansese womo si ku womo ho ayiro mo ho aye adwuma ede ma go bogo so prisia gold mine si nyasem kitwa enti se ne wo pam womo na so mo nsa wie womo nsa pan saa wo matiko wo sum wo sa akwa kogufia nyaade se etwa yie kura wo mo chere sei adwumafo ni bia mobo papa esanse adwumako no apam wo mo na kwan yo fa so pam wo mo no nya kwan pa na fe ya mo mo hwe amfam kofie de zapan na ko yenti amom ho akire wo mo panti se ba bia do no kire mampani John Dramani Mahama na ban ebe kan bi mo se de be ya bogo so Christian Mines foi wo mo edi wo sika esese ye de ma wo mo ede ebemomo na ekuo wo mo yensantwefo hyemu eno mo de ensami etudwa ekuo no wo mo kasamafo ayowura Gabriel Madungbe yentino.
Families are suffering. Promises have not been kept. Payment timeline have shifted repeatedly, and many who have served Ghana mining industry for decades are being treated without dignity and fairness. The situation workers face is no longer bearable. We are not here only to fight for what is due for financially. We stand here today on behalf of many in pursuit of justice, accountability, and dignified future for the men and women who built and sustain this mine. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also here to plead with the government to do all in its power to save and restore this national asset to its former glory.
Ayowura Gabriel Madungbe yedani semisto enwere samhodo esam for Alhasssan Okogyeabour so ma ye no yede ni nyina esia ewuna asia kwa ma nisu madwumefo ne reporters nyina adwumefo ne adwonya akon kwa mefori aboaje madam amasewa ampafo yesam for Alhasssan Okogyeabour siwa oda bullet fashion center no DJ Bullet worona from nyina da wo chinchim de ma ye social media no eye Kelvin enwere kenkan fa wuti yenkan ye me Rantinia ba mame efumwa kafena mini
Nana Yeboah Bemaba.
Happy birthday to Mr. Kofi Dako. Dodo na friend car keys man. Sana me dem friend friend car keys man car keys. Yama happy birthday. Nyame shall pa. Nyame ntina ni show. De odo nsabe so mbia omane nyenhyira. Wakoma so abisade bia onfa emmaw ne de bia onto supa enwu so. Kwame fori aboaje so ma happy birthday. Sanso na wabusu nyina wadwuma efo nyina. Onamfo no nyina ye nyina se ma happy birthday car keys man. Yankopon show na onye okese. Yes sorry so. See wo ha. De